Hello everyone, how's everyone doing today? I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful and humble to have a chance to sit here in my home in Toronto, Ontario, to be speaking to you about how the money is made in this business. First, I suggest that if you have not checked out the informations about the company, go back and check out the link that I have in the emails. So you probably have checked out the information and know a little bit about my background, so where I come from. So I don't want to explain too much because today you're here to see and to learn how the money is made in this business right here. So let's get started. Okay, let me put this over here. All right. So in the company, there's three ways of making money. There's personal residual income, there's overriding residual incomes, and there's bonuses, right? Not like in a job, in a regular job, there's only one way. In here, you get paid three ways for doing one thing, right? So let's talk about first residual incomes, personal residual incomes, right? Most people, most of us, what we call lenient income. It's lenient incomes. What is that? Is trading our time for money. Right? Most people trade 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours a day, 40, 50, 60, 70 hours a week to get a paycheck, to get a salary, to get a commissions, to get some form of income. But the only thing that is not good about that is that if we stop, the money stop. If we get laid off, the money stop. If we get fired, the money stop. If we get sick, the money stop. So imagine what will happen when the money suddenly stops. It's going to be depressive and depressive, right? So personal residual incomes. Personal residual incomes is money that will come to us months after months after months after months after years for doing the work one time, right? I always like to give the examples of the cellular phone. Most of us have a cell phone from a provider: Bell, Rogers, Fidos, Telus, AT&T, Verizon, etc., etc., right? So think about this. Think about the first time ever, the first day ever that you went to that provider and you asked them for a cell phone. I don't know when is that. Maybe it's last week, last month, last year, last 10 years. I don't know. But think of the first time ever. So you went there and you asked the provider to give you a cell phone and a plan, which they did. And they probably took like 30 minutes less to do it. But the deal is done. The job is done. And you left happily. And you used the cell phone until today, right? What personal residual income mean is that they did the work only for 30 minutes that day, but you continue to pay the bills months after months, months after months, years after years. Imagine, you see, you are a customer of that provider until now, but they only did the job one time, but you pay many, many years, maybe even lifetime, right? So that's personal residual income. That's very, very exciting. So with personal residual incomes, for every customer that we gather, we get paid from 1 all the way up to 10% of the bills they pay every single month, right? So how do you get from 1 all the way up to 10%? Most of you will ask, right? Get a few more customer out of the way, then you get the full 10% on the bills that everybody pay every single month, right? So think this way. 10% on the bills that you pay every single month. An average Canadian household pay roughly around $500 per month together on their bills. They have phone bills, internet bills, TV bills, hydro bills, gas bill, home security bills, all these bills put together. The average Canadian household pay roughly around $500. So imagine this. We are spending this money already. We are paying toward this bill already. We're paying this to other people already. Months after months, years after years, decades, even lifetimes, right? This, we can never run away. Sometimes there's more, sometimes there's less, but the average is 500. Now, just imagine that you become your own customer. So what does that mean? It means that now, every single time you pay that $500, you will make 10%, right? 10% months after months, years after years, 10 years, 20 years, decades down the road, because you are your own customers. Now the question is, do you know anybody else that want to save some money on their bills? I'm assuming you're going to say everybody, Bruce, right? So this is very, very powerful. Why is that? Is that because now there's guaranteed money coming into you, right? You can start off small with $50, but can you imagine what happened if this $500 become $5,000? What is 10% of that? What if it's 10,000? What is 50,000 in billing volume? What is the 10% of that, right? Just imagine. Right now you are trading 40, 50, 60 hours a week to get that paycheck. I don't know how much you make, but just think that the money from this bill is enough for you to come in every single month, that you don't have to work. It can continue to come in every single month. Wow, can you imagine what you're going to do with your time now? If there's money that is coming in every single month, you don't have to trade your time for money, right? That's very, very exciting, right? So personal residual incomes, we get paid 10% on the customer that we gather, even ourselves. So let's talk about the second income. Second income is called overriding residual income. Overriding residual incomes, right? So what does that mean? Very, very simple. In this business right here, we get paid for helping other people to come into the business, right? By helping other people and teaching them how to make money, we get a small percentage on the bills that they gather into the business. Not just one, but many, many generations down. The company pay all the way down to seven generations, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So you can imagine, this is very, very, very depths in generations. Imagine this. Imagine that you introduce your best friend into the business, right? And he went and he gathered hundreds of customers. You make a percentage on all those hundreds of customers, even if you don't know who are those customers. But the exciting thing is that he went and introduced somebody into the business, and you don't know who's that person, but because they fall into your second generation, you'll get a percentage on their customers. Doesn't matter where that customer is. It went so forth and so on. It go all the way down to 7 generations, right? So let's do a simple math, right? The percentage is already in the video, so I will not explain too much about the percentage of each generations, right? But here I'm just going to give you a rough example. So if this is you right here, just say that's you. If all you did is just introduce 2 people into the business, right? Introduce 2 people into the business, and just assuming that each of them went and acquired 10 customers, right? Just 10 customers, right? And that's all they did. And we teach them to do the same thing. Introduce 2 people and gather 10 customers and so forth and so on, right? Like how the informations on the video say. By the time it go down to 7th level down here, generation right here, there's 128 people in your organizations. If you add all this up together, I will give you 254 IBO, independent business owner, right? So this is very, very powerful right here. Why is that? Because this is network marketing at its finest, right? So for those who doesn't know what is network marketing has been around for 100 years already. It's a proven systems already, right? And 20% of all self-made millionaires come out from the last last 25 years in just North America alone. They come out from this industry of network marketing, right? So this is just an example of you introducing two. Remember this: there's no limit of how many you can introduce. You can introduce 3, introduce 4, introduce 5. It doesn't matter. But here it's just an example of 2 to make it simple, right? So if you have a team of 254 individuals that gather 10 customers, which have a $40 bills, which customer pay roughly $40, that right there will give you close to $6,000 per month of walkaway residual incomes. This is very, very exciting. Why is that? Because $5,800 of passive income coming into you. Wow. And all we did is build a team starting from 2 and teach them to do the same thing all the way down to here. Right? Imagine that. Close to $6,000 of passive income coming to you every single month. Why is that? Because people had to pay bills, right? Months after months, years after years. The equivalence of making this money right here is putting $2 million into a saving account at a 3% interest rate, right? So ask yourself this question right here. What do you think is more easier to do and more realistic? Build a team of 250 individuals that gather a few customers, or save up $2 million and put it into a saving account, and hopefully they'll give you a 3% interest rate to generate a passive income of $5,800, right? Most people will say, Bruce, this model right here is more realistic, right? So this right here, it's just a number. Remember this. It does not matter how small this number or how big this number is. What it matters most is that this money come in without us trading our time for it. Imagine that when we don't have to trade our time to get the money, we have that extra 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 hours a week to do other stuff. What will you do? I want you to imagine that. What will you do? For sure, you will not do what you're currently doing right now. Maybe you would enjoy, take a vacations, spend time with the family, with the children, right? Do things that you want to do, not your boss want you to do. All right. So that's the second income, guys. The third income is bonus. Yay, I love bonus. Because bonus, we can make right away, off the bat. Once you start the business, you can make bonus right away, and there's no limit of how much bonus you can make in this business right here while building your residual passive income. Right? So, very, very simple. When you join the business, you are called team trainer. It's just a funny name, so they know how where you are. And there's 7 positions according to the compensation plans. The higher the rank, the more bonus you will make. But first off, you're a team trainer like anybody else. This right now you are in business, but you are not able to make money yet. To qualify to make bonus, you have to become a qualified team trainer. You ask me, how do you do that, Bruce? Very simple. Acquire a handful of service, 3 to be exact, 3 service, right? Most people become qualified team trainer within minutes. Why is that? Because they are already using the service from other provider already, right? Maybe phone, bundle with internet, TV, or whatever, that kind of stuff. So they just take their service and put into their business and say goodbye to their old provider, right? So now you are qualified to make bonus. Now the first thing we do next is introduce 2 people to the business that is qualified. Remember that, qualified with 3 service. This is not a recruiting company, this is a customer gathering company. No qualification, no money. Once you have 2 people on your team that is qualified, you get promoted to the first earning bonus position. That's what we call executive team trainer. Now that you become an executive team trainer, any new individual that you or your team introduce, roughly the company will pay you $200 per person in a calendar month, right? So you can do the math, right? If this gentleman right here introduced a few people, you're making $200 once they are qualified, right? Over here, $200, right? Over here, $200. So you can see, as an ETT already, you can make ton loads of bonus already on top of the residual incomes you're climbing at the back. So this is just a basic comp plans of the company, right? There's 7 levels. If we have a chance to meet, I will explain more in details. But there you go, guys. Very simple. That's how the money is made in our business, right? Again, let me recap. Personal residual incomes, overriding residual incomes, and bonuses, guys. So, guys, hopefully you understand how the money is made now, and you have some ideas. Again, remember, this video is there for a purpose, is to show you a little bit of how the money is made. This video is not for you to understand the whole concept. If you want to know more, contact me or contact the person that give you this information. I will leave with a saying, right? Guys, no matter what happened, no matter if you like this business or not, no matter if you understand or not, the most important thing is that find something that will generate a passive income. The reason why is that we, as in human beings, the most valuable assets that we have is just time, nothing else. Not the material, not the money or whatever, that kind of stuff. That's just time. Because if you have no money, you can always make money. But if you have no time, how can you make more time, right? So, if we are trading 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, 40, 50, 60, 70 hours to get a paycheck, to get a commissions, what else can we do? That's why most people fall into that trap, how you call the rat race. All they do is taking money from one hand, giving it to the other hand, back and forth, over and over, years after years, decades after decades, and they come back and they say, nothing happened, but I just get older, right? So find a way to build a passive income coming in, because when a passive income coming into you already, when there's a third income coming in, right? It doesn't matter how much, right? Can be $100 a month, can be $500 a month, can be $1,000, can be $5,000, can be $10,000, can be $100,000 a month. Doesn't matter how much, but as long as passive, you don't need to trade time for money. Then you can stop what you're currently doing, because now you have the money coming in already, and you can do other stuff that you want to do. All right, guys. So again, Bruce Dun Tran here. I'm very happy to have a chance to speak to you and to talk to you about how the money is made in this business right here. Hopefully, we have a chance one day to meet each other face to face, and we will talk more about the business side. And you have a great day, guys, and the best of luck. Goodbye.